When most people think runners, they think these ultra healthy, super fit athletes. But are runners actually healthy? Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Rachel. I have been a runner for over 15 years and have completed distances from 5Ks up to ultramarathons. I am a nutrition specialist who helps runners supercharge their energy levels, optimize their performance, and finally smash those goals that they've been after. So today I wanted to join you and discuss the topic of, are runners healthy? Now, a lot of this really depends on how we define health. Do we define health as the absence of disease? Do we define health as somebody who has no health conditions whatsoever? So it really comes down to how you as an individual define health. But we can take a more sort of deep health approach that looks at more than just our physical health. It also looks at things such as our mental and cognitive health, our emotional health, our kind of existential or purposeful health, so our why behind why we do things, the relational and social health, and finally our environmental health. So we're going to look at it from this more deep health perspective today for are runners healthy. We will, of course, start with the physical health. So there are an awful lot of physical health benefits to running. It can help things such as our cardiovascular health. It can really help our heart muscle improve in strength. It can help our respiratory system and all of these really, really vital systems. On top of this, running has been proven to reduce the risk of things such as cardiovascular disease and also reduce the risk of getting some types of cancer. That does not mean that running should be used to prevent cancer, simply that there is some evidence out there to suggest that running can help reduce the risk of getting cancer. On top of this, running has also been shown to help our bone and muscle strength. So from a muscle perspective, running obviously requires that repetitive motion, which can help build muscle in kind of our legs and also our core. On top of this, it can also help our bone strength. So runners have been shown to have higher bone density, which reduces their risk of getting things like osteoporosis later in life. Bone density can be really key in helping in old age to prevent those fractures. But on the other side of that, running too much or not using an effective running strategy or having good recovery practices in place can lead to injury as well. So, there are still potential negative side effects to running, but these can be easily managed with proper training, proper care, and proper nutrition. So we're going to combine the kind of mental, cognitive, and emotional health into one because they're really integral to speak together as kind of a team. So running has been shown to improve cognitive function and reduce the risk of things such as sort of cognitive disorders such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. On top of that, running has been shown to improve our mental health due to the kind of endorphins that are released, the almost like happy hormones. So they can make us feel more positive about ourselves and reduce the likelihood of suffering from things like anxiety and depression, or they can help manage the symptoms of anxiety and depression for people who are suffering with those conditions. However, on the other side of that, I have heard people discuss things about being like addicted to running. So if you are somebody who is finding that not going for a run causes you great anxiety or you feel guilty for skipping a workout, then that is potentially a sign that running is having a negative impact on your cognitive and emotional health. It can seem a little bit out there, but also looking at our existential and purposeful health. So our why behind we run. For example, I love to run because it gets me outside, it's my thinking time, it makes me feel good about myself. So my why is simply because I enjoy it. But everyone has their own reason for running. And if somebody is running solely to burn calories and actually they really hate running, then potentially they're not in balance with their existential and purposeful health, because their reasoning for doing it is not coming from a place of enjoyment, but is coming from a place of feeling like they have to for kind of whatever reasons they're feeling themselves. And also from a relational and social health standpoint, running can be a really social activity. Some people love to run on their own, and that is great. Other people love to run in a group and can find joining an athletics club or a more sort of social running group. Going to things such as park run can be really, really a social. Especially if somebody has perhaps just moved to a new area, doesn't really know many people, then running can be a way of helping them meet like-minded people who really enjoy something that they also enjoy, and they start to build up a community. On the other side of that, and perhaps when we can see it quite a bit, is when somebody is training for like a marathon or an ultra marathon, and running can start to feel like it is taking over your life and you're having to say no to things because you're having to go for a run, because you're training for this specific event, you've got this specific goal in mind. So if this is happening and you're finding yourself saying no to a lot of social events or kind of spending time with your partner, then maybe just take a step back, reevaluate where you are and ask if this is healthy. Is it only for a certain amount of time? What's your plan after you've reached that goal? And just really taking that moment to pause and say, is my relationship with running right now healthy? Or potentially is running having a negative impact on my social and relational health? And the final one that may seem to have the least amount of impact is our environmental health. Hopefully most of us are fortunate enough to live in an area where it is okay to go running and we feel quite safe to go running, or we have easy access to gym facilities where we can perhaps run on a treadmill. However, this can be slightly harder for a number of reasons depending on where somebody lives, how safe the area that they live in is, and those other impacts that come into it. So it's important as well to address our environment and see if our environment allows us to do the activities that we like, such as running, in a safe manner, and trying to make our environment as healthy for this as possible. So to the question of, are runners healthy? In general, yes, runners are healthy. There are lots of physical and emotional and mental benefits to running. But in the same breath, it would be fairly easy for a runner to be unhealthy due to maybe persistent injuries. Poor nutrition can lead to persistent injuries. Running has become all-consuming, or perhaps, due to environmental reasons, maybe they just don't feel able to go out and go running. So when we talk about health and whether runners or not are healthy, we just really need to determine the parameters of health that we are talking about in that specific moment. But yes, in general, runners are healthy and there are loads of health benefits to running. If you would like more information on how recovery can support you in your health journey, then down below you will find the link to my guide on the top 5 recovery mistakes that runners make. Avoiding these mistakes will help you to remain healthy as a runner. Thank you for tuning in this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that others get to see this content, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.